such an asshole!
AssholeConsulting.com. If you got questions, I got answers. If you got money, so fucking pay me. No, it's not a free service, you whiny, spoiled millennial fucks. Oh my god, I didn't know you were gonna try. I can't to this day. Oh, come on, man. I live at home and I'm a cop. Well, if you live at home, then you got a lot of fucking money to afford it. Matter of fact, I'll charge you more, because I am an asshole. Andrew writes, hello, Clary. Would like to know how to become fluent in public speaking and in writing. Thanks. Look at that. That is the best fucking request I've ever had. One sentence, got to the fucking point. That's why I charged them less. Okay, so I took some notes, because even though the question was short and sweet and beautiful, I did want to do that. Let's pull up my notes. I don't know why I went into my office today. I thought I'd be cool and cozy, and I'd be why I got the heater going, and it's turning out to be not conducive to getting this shit done. All right, here's the thing with writing and speaking. We'll do them all together, and then I'm gonna do them individually. Things you can do individually for writing versus speaking. All right. All it is practice. That's it. That's all it is. All right. You can go take a class. You can piss away your money. Just go talk. Just speak. If you want to do Toastmasters, go ahead. But I would practice in front of a camera. I mean, just practice speaking. Writing is the same thing. You're just going to have to write volumes. People say my writing's gotten better as I've written more. But I also had an extensive writing career beforehand, as I'd write reports for banking and economics work. Also, with the writing, it helps to read a lot, too. And a lot of people say, I thought you didn't read books. You're right, I don't read books. But I read the fuck out of the Wall Street Journal and The Economist when I was younger. And I'd read The Economist front to back. Of course, I was working a security guard job. I was bored of my mind. This is before you kids had your internets with your music phones. But that is basically all it is practice. Like anything else, learning a musical instruments, karate, martial arts, public speaking and writing, you just gotta practice. All right. Now, specifically speaking, the number one mistake is people try too hard. They get all worked up. They're worried. I don't know why the fuck you're worried. No one in the history of speeches has ever gotten killed or beaten up, and all you're doing is you're going up and you're having a conversation with a lot of people instead of one person. That's all it is. If you think it's more than that, you're going to start fucking with your brain. You're going to make it something it's not. And then you're going to stutter. You're going to try too hard. You're going to become anal, and it's not going to be fun anymore. I do great speeches. If you want, look up Crusaderism. Look up To Save Capitalism. I mean, I got some great speeches. How to Get Young Men Interested in Conservatism, or Republican Party, was it? And the reason why is that it is a conversation. Humans are not used to. Their daily routine does not consist of Abraham Lincoln saying, well, my friend down. Oh, no, that's more of a southern Louisiana governor from the 1890s. Let's just say it is. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I would like to say, no one talks like that. Not in the real world. Even that guy doesn't talk like that, except for that particular instance. So what I have found, and what works, is when you're just having a normal conversation with people. When I taught my dance classes, when I did speeches, when I do speeches, it's just, hey, how's it going? My name's Aaron Clary, blah, blah, blah. Now, you just can't come up there and, hey, fucking what's going on? Well, what am I going to talk about? Oh, let me think. You have to have an outline. And when it comes to speaking, you want to be a very loose outline. So what I do is I have PowerPoint, and I put together some slides for the benefit of the people. And I'll have one or two bullet points just to remind me what it is that I wanted to talk about. So I put a lot of effort into the outline so that it flows logically, that I'm covering all the topics I want, whatever it is that I'm talking about. But then, and there's like maybe one or two or maybe three main things I want to say about each slide, and I just bullet point it right there. A lot of people, I print off my notes, I look at my notes, and then you got the fucking PowerPoint right there. It's not like your brain is gonna forget. Oh, what was I gonna say? It only has 3 bullet points. I didn't know what I was gonna tell them. I mean, you're gonna remember. Don't worry. There's no problem about it. And then the other thing with that loose outline is you want to go through it at most twice. That's it, at most twice. You don't want to do it more than that. Just go through it 2 full rehearsals. Twice, that's it. Because if you go through it more than that, you're going to start getting like anal again. You're not going to have a conversation, and then you're going to ruin that conversational tone that you have in your speech. It also allows you, like if you're too structured, you're not going to be able to adapt or change when someone has a question like, oh yeah, this or that. And the other thing is people like to laugh, and you'll be going through your presentation, and you'll come up with a funny joke, like a little witticism, and like, well, I did this one. I was like, well, if you're from Fridley, and Fridley is this kind of like shithole, not shithole, it's just this low collar or low income blue collar part of town in Minneapolis. I don't know if you're from Fridley, but if you're from Wayzata, and then everybody laughs, and I can't remember what it was about. But if you're like reading from the script, you're not gonna have that, and it's not gonna feel natural. So that's what you want to do. The loose outline. You have your bullet points, just not written out. If people can read. Don't fucking write your speech up on the PowerPoint. People can read, and if you're going to do that, they don't need you. So just keep it loose, keep it a little bit fluid, a little bit flexible, but still put the effort into it. And then by the time you're done, you've just had a normal conversation. And whatever you do, don't panic. Swear to fucking God, don't panic. I don't know. See, I'm lucky. I never, like, who do you, like, no. I'm the expert. They're here to see me. What are they going to do? They're going to beat my ass if I goof up? So don't worry. I mean, that's just like, hey, how you doing? Have a drink before you do it. That might help you a little bit. Don't get drunk. All right, then writing. Writing is, in addition to the practice and all that, writing is different than speaking, because speaking, you want to be conversational. You want to be interactive. Writing's completely different. I'd say the opposite. Because when you write a book or a report or something, it's efficiency and expediency and thoroughness that you want to convey the concepts of the story to the reader. And so here, I outline the fuck out of my books. I get a big ass sheet of paper, and not only do I outline it, I get organized mentally first, like big piece of paper, drawing diagrams, circles, spider legs, and then over time, and I spend at least 2 hours outlining a book. Then, okay, and I make sure everything and every concept that I threw up on my barf board there gets included in the book. Not maybe everything, but that the key concepts. All right, and then I start organizing it into logically laid out chapters that follow some kind of logic, be it chronological. If you look at a lot of my books, there's kind of like, you'll see philosophy, which kind of lays down the ground for everything and provides context. Then it starts early on in life. Education, college, career, dating and marital and stuff like that. Retirement, death. So you see the life cycle. That's just how a bachelor had economics. Curse of the High IQ, I'm trying to remember how I organized that. But it's the larger point I'm trying to make is you get all your ideas up there. They will naturally coalesce. Coagulate? They coalesce. They'll form and glom into logical groups of related information, and then you got your chapters. Then you just don't randomly put the chapter. You have to put them together and thread them according to a logic or a linear chronology. Not necessarily time related, but there has to be a logical order to them so that it makes sense to the reader and it's easier for the brain to digest. And then with writing, like I said before, a lot of reading The Economist, highbrow. Not so highbrow, people can't understand you. You don't want to read academic papers. But the Wall Street Journal, The Economist, Reason Magazine. Sadly, The Economist and Reason used to be awesome. And now The Economist is a leftist piece of shit. It's NPR. And Reason, so I'd say Wall Street Journal and Reason are pretty good. Reason. But in terms of good writing, flow, cadence, and you'll develop your own flow and cadence. A lot of people, when they read my books, they're like, I can't read Clary, he's too weird, he has run-on sentences. No, you're reading it like a report. Read it like someone talking to you. Read it like someone delivering a speech. That's how I write. I write like I talk. And then people are like, oh wow. So what's funny, what's kind of interesting, is my audiobooks, last I checked, have higher ratings than their counterparty paperback or Kindle books, because you have someone reading it, and it's like, oh, that's how it's supposed to sound. as opposed to their brain trying to interpret the cadence and the pace of the read. Anyway, so read a lot of stuff, then write a ton of stuff. I will probably hurt many people when I say this. I started writing when I was in the 8th grade. I had this journal, not necessarily for having a journal, because I wanted to learn to type and use the typewriter. This is before we didn't have a computer back then. And I wanted to learn, and I am a mad fast typer. And so I had this journal. It started, and then it kind of took on a life of its own. So it went from the 8th grade to, I think, college, like my sophomore year, and it obviously tapered off. It was like 900 pages. Burned it all. World's shittiest writing ever. Get your shitty writing out of the way early as possible, all right? And preferably when you're young, learn to be a mad typer, because I could type as fast as I think, so I can, bam, put it out. So that is a very good skill to have, is writing. But yeah, you're going to write shit. You're just going to write shit the first, depending on how fast. I mean, your first 200 or 300 pages are going to be shit. That's just how it is. Your first 500 pages are going to be mediocre. Then with anything else, you get better and better. But I would definitely start writing. I don't know if you want to write a journal. Write a blog. Blogs are great because you can start making money on that. Build up your audience slowly but surely. You can spread or diversify into YouTube or podcasting or whatever. But I would just write every day a good quality post, bar weekends or whatever. But then when it comes down, like, okay, now I have an idea, now I want to write. Okay, you got all this experience writing, you got all this experience typing, you can type as a mad-ass motherfucker. Then dedicate as much time as is necessary to organize that book in a logical outline, because you do not want to, people are like, oh, how do you write a book? I wrote Bachelor Pad Economics in 3 months. I wrote Curse of the High IQ, Worthless. I wrote Worthless in 2 weeks. And the reason I could bang them out so quickly is because I organized the hell out of it, and that saves you thrice, if not quadruple, the amount of time trying to figure out, where do I want to go next? No, I have it outlined. I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly what I want to say. I say it, then it turns into more of a polishing, everything's organized. Everything, top, bottom, it's organized. Then it becomes polishing, where people, oh, wow, he's a really good writer. I really like the sound of that. And that's where you take your time in doing that. And that is the key right there. There's one thing I say is organizing the fuck out of your book and your thoughts and your article, whatever you're writing. Organize the fuck out of it, so you're not dicking around, where do I want to go next after that. What I don't get, this throws me the fuck off, is people who write fiction and they don't have an ending. They're like, I don't know, I'll just see where a character takes. I'm like, how the fuck? No wonder it takes you people 5 years to write a goddamn book. Do not be that stupid. Do not be that stupid. Of course, now there's Stephen King or some great authors. I make millions. Who the fuck are you, kid? I'm just saying, for saving your lifetime, you got to organize, especially fiction. You got to know, you don't want to have any, plot gaps or plot holes. You want it organized, structured, laid out, so you know how it ends in the end. Otherwise, I've had people, I know, like, when I started writing this book, it was going to be originally about this person, but then this other character for me was really cool and interesting. So then I changed the plot. I'm like, you changed the plot? Then why'd you write the book? Wait a minute, you start writing a book with a plot that was, fuck it, we don't need the plot. I was going to write this thing about a terrorist attack, but then I wrote a romance novel instead. I don't know how it happened. So it's going to be jarred and disjointed, or jarring and disjointed. So that is what I'd recommend, no matter whether you're writing fiction or nonfiction, is organize the hell out of your books and your writing. And otherwise, that's it. That's really about the only thing I'd say with writing. Speaking, just go ahead and do it and practice it. You'll be fine. But the opportunity to speak is so rare. It's not that common unless you purposely go out and search for it. So if you want to do, maybe get a YouTube channel and just rant about shit like I do. That will help you. But there's not a lot of opportunities to do public presentation. When it comes, but writing is different. Writing is just, well, do I want to write a book, or do I want to write a blog, or do I want to write an article? Yeah, you can. You can do that as a hobby, and that will present itself plenty of opportunities. So you could practice all you want. especially when it comes to writing, because if you feel like writing, you certainly can. So anyway, that's about it. If anyone else has got some questions, go to assholeconsulting.com, where I, the world's only professional asshole, give you advice. And just so everybody knows, starting Monday and for the next week, the old captain is taking a week off. That doesn't mean Asshole Consulting will go away. I will be charging, however, $200 an hour. Kind of Doc says I gotta take it easy. So I am going to take about a week off. If it's an absolute emergency, you will pay $200 an hour. Otherwise, if you can wait till the Monday after, that'd be great. So, and just if you see videos uploading on Monday, is he working? Is it? No. I have to get through all this video, so I have no work to do, and I can take it easy and mentally relax. So, anyway, I apologize for being mortal, but I'm just sexy. That's the problem. So, all right, we'll catch you kids later. Toodles.